there friends, it's me Lauren with Bold Notion Quilting, and I wanted to take a minute to show you some cool little gadgets that we have now in the shop for APQS machines. So we've got this new laser light holder, and I want to show you that. I'm going to show you about the leader lift that we have so that your base plate and your red snappers, zippers, needles, anything that could hit that can now be alleviated from stress, so that when you're doing custom quilting you don't get that bump and that snag. I'm also going to show you how to use the front laser holder, not just for lining up your computerized quilting designs to ensure that it's right at your needle, but also how to take a picture that you might want to put an item on your quilt top without having something as fancy as a computer. You could instead use that picture and you can mimic it right at the front of your machine and stitch it out on one of your quilt blocks. So let's go ahead and take a look. If you take a look, you mount with these two side screws, and your laser light holder will come with two R9 size screws, so they're the longer screws, not the shorter screws that are normally on your machine for mounting. It's got a mounting pole that is just the right diameter for your laser light, and you'll see that your laser light then plugs into the front power and comes down. All of the laser light holders come with a Velcro strap so that you can wrap it around your cord, so that at no point is this going to move or get touched or something in a way that it could make your laser move. Your laser is going to be pointing right down at where your needle is. Now you have to adjust that here. So this screw here, if you do righty-tighty, lefty-loosey, it'll be loose. You can adjust your laser up and down, you can twist it side to side, and you want to get it to where it is pointing right where the needle's going to hit. Now sometimes your batting is quite heavy or fluffy, and so you may need to push down on your fabric to ensure that when your needle actually goes down, where you make a hole, and I like to kind of just test this out with the channel locks, so when you make a hole and you bring up your needle, is your laser in the right place? If your laser is not in the right place, then you want to adjust it. Okay, I went ahead and turned off my overhead lighting so that you can kind of see where my laser light is at. So when I put my needle down and I make a hole, you don't even have to get your thread stuck, but you make a hole, you'll notice that your fabric goes up and down, right? So if I have my fabric right against the ruler base and I make it flat, that's where the needle's actually going to make the stitch. So I want to ensure to move my laser light so that it is right over that hole. Now you'll notice when your needle goes up and down, it'll look kind of like it's deflecting your laser just a little bit, but when you pull the needle up, the laser is right over the hole that you made. So that's how you want to go ahead and adjust that laser light. Now for when you're stitching a design, when you're computerized quilting, now that you know where your needle is going to hit when your needle actually goes down, it's going to help you line up your computerized quilting designs. So let me show you how it does that on an actual quilt top. So my machine ran its course and I had a thread break. You can see where my thread goes to here and then it stops. So what I'm going to do, my red light, I've already made sure that it is right where my needle's at. You'll see how the light kind of bounces when my needle goes down, how it reflects, and that is a clear indication that it is exactly where it needs to be, because as the needle hits it, that laser reflects off of the silver needle. Okay, if I lift it up, that laser light is right over the hole. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go about 5 stitches back, line up my laser light, okay, right onto the line of where it was stitched, go down and up, we went a couple stitches back, and we want to tack off our threads. The laser light isn't magic. Ooh. And then you want to go ahead and begin quilting. So what I've done is I lined up my laser light with my thread path, and you can see up here that being on my thread path with where my laser light was, I am exactly on the thread path of where my needle should be. There's no adjustment forward or backward, and when I begin stitching, it's going to continue on that line. So now that everything is where it should be, I've tacked on off my threads, I've verified with my computer system that I'm in the right space. I'm going to go ahead and tell it to start stitching. And then everything can kind of just go on its merry way. Once it starts stitching, You can cut your threads off, and you can see up close, this is where my threads broke. Right here. I got a nice seamless transition. And as the needle stitches, you can kind of see the laser light bounce, but again, like I said, it's right on the needle, so as the needle goes down, it's going to deflect. But it's a really cool way to kind of adjust, and if you have a harder time seeing, it's a great way to give your eyes something else to focus on instead of trying to guess where the tip of that needle is.